Live at 5. Yeah. We're live at 5. Yeah. Grab your seat, grab your drink. It's that Sunday vibe. Welcome in, hit that chat. Tell me what you're building at. Prints lined up on the rack. Lay a stack, back to back. Yeah. Laser light on a fresh new place. Sparks of an idea you can't fake. From a sketch to a real life thing. Watch it glow while the bell goes ding. Sunday live at 5. Come and watch it come alive. We're making wild, exciting things. Dreams of plastic sparks and beams. Sunday live at 5. Friends and subs, yo, all my tribe. Like, share, subscribe, come ride. Sunday live at 5. Spool spin as the camera zooms. Colors bursting all over the room. Tiny gears, dragons with wings. Gadgets, gizmos, crazy new rings. Styling heat, watch the layers climb. Perfect pass in real time. From a thought to the build plate shine. This is how we cross that line. Sunday live at 5. Come and watch it come alive. We're making wild, exciting things. Dreams of plastic sparks and beams. Sunday live at 5. Friends and subs, yo, all my tribe. Like, share, subscribe, come ride. Sunday live at 5. Sunday live at 5. Sunday live at 5. I got a treat for the crew tonight. Polymaker on the giveaway light. Drop your name, let the chat go wild. Could be you, lucky style. New folks don't just sit and peek. Hit that button if you come each week. OG squad, you already know. We turn what if into whoa. Hands up high. If you're here for the ride, hey, type it out, let the comments fly. What should we make tonight? Make tonight, make tonight, make tonight. From the bench to the screen to your mind. Every print, every cut, and every line. We're a team, one big design. Count it down, down. One more time. Sunday live at 5. Yeah, we're just getting started. Friends and fam worldwide. Like, share, subscribe. Let's make something awesome tonight.
That's better if I unmute. Welcome to Sunday Live at 5, guys. I was muted. That's why there was no sound. I'll double check now. There should be sound. Let's see. Yes, there is now. Helps if I don't mute myself, right? Or it helps when I unmute myself after we get going. So let's just check. I've got a little setup right in front of me here to check for chat now. I just decided to pull the iPad out. So let's go. Why did I just lose my chat? I love when things just go right. I just swiped down and lost my chat on the iPad for some reason. How do I get that back? Let me do something here. Let me do something here. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I'm new to this. What the heck can I tell you? If I go like that, and I go like that, and then if I go, oh man, what the heck is going on? I've just lost my entire... Okay, this is not good. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second here. And I'll get to the chat. I will. Actually, what I'll do is I'll say hello over here first while I figure this freaking iPad thing out. The iPad's a little bit different than... it's a little bit different than the desktop, whereas I can't... There we are. If I go to there, and then I go to there... There we are. The chat's back. The chat is back. So I can say hello to everybody that was here before. So sorry, guys. So Jerry was here. There's one just prior to Jerry. Wiki Central was here first. There we go. And then Jerry, and I can say hi to Jerry. There we go. I got the chat back. Whew, that was stressful to begin with. 3D Medic Vince is here. Kakafoo is here. Hello, hello, Kakafoo. William Nelson, SPC 3D, Nick, David Walton, Tulsa Skin, John John is here, John K, Brent Ferguson is here, James L is here. If I say your name twice, buy a lottery ticket, because I'm just skimming through these here. Andy Visley's here, and One Raz is here, and I think I got everybody that has mentioned something in chat. I believe so. There we go. We have 21 in chat so far. And I think I got everybody. Hello, hello. So last week we built, as you remember, we built a couple remote controls. And we finished the remote control successfully. There was this one, and there was a blue one right here. We completed these two remote controls. They're both built. Well, the one is functional right now, but they're both built to the specs. And today we were going to be working on the actual Cyber tank. So, oh, hello, I am Raj. Hello, hello. Boop, boop. Hello, everybody. So, one thing I learned, okay, so truth be told, I did build, because we have two to build, and I didn't want to take a whole stream to do it. So truth be told, this week, offline, I did build this. I did build one of the tanks. The good news is that I built it because now I kind of know what I'm doing to do it, and if there was any little complications or things that I wasn't sure about, I've taken care of all that, okay? So that was that, and then here it is again, another view right here. So we did build a little tank, and we have the remote here. Another thing that I did learn, if you're gonna do this project, let me cut back over to here. If you're going to do this and build one of these little tanks, which are really cool, I'll run it for you in a minute here. I thought maybe, you know what? I thought TPU treads would be better than the PLA treads that I initially printed. No, the TPU treads do not work. I put them on, and I think the reasoning is they have to actually roll quite freely. And we are using relatively small motors with what's the word it's called, where the gears, it's got a certain gear ratio from the motors that are running the tires. And there's just not enough power when these TPU printed tracks are on there. It's jamming, it's not flowing. These are such small tracks, and the tolerance is so tight that these things are just not able to rotate the way they need to compared to the way that the actual PLA tracks rotate, okay? So that's why I printed them and I tried it on here and it just didn't work. So we're not going to be using the TPU tracks. I don't know what I'll do with these. For now, they'll just go down in my recycle bin, but they're no good for this build. So there's that. There is that. So let's see, anybody else here? I am Raj is here, and let's see. Happy Sunday, everybody. And it looks like we have 21 people on here so far, 22 people so far. That's good. Is my YouTube on here catching up with the chat? It is. So that's good, because I can keep an eye on the chat here while I do the build and keep the instructions over here. So that is awesome. But I'm going to give you guys a little sneak preview here of what I've been doing. So here, another thing I worked on over the week was I built this big beast. It's like one of those little, there we go. It's like a little track thing that's on the CyberBrick site. So I printed out a bunch of the pieces, and we can actually run it's like a little battleground, right? So you guys want to see how this thing works, and then we'll get into the other build. Does that sound pretty good? You guys want to see me run this, then we'll get into the build, okay? Why don't we do that? So first thing we need to do is there's a power switch on the back of the back of this. I call this the tank. Here's a little target that your opponent's going to try and shoot off. Okay, so there's a power switch on the back of the tank. We power that on, and the power switch on the bottom of the remote, we power it on. And now we can operate this little guy, make it turn in a circle. You'll notice the little gun port there, whatever you want to call it. We can raise that to shoot high, shoot low. Okay, and then we have a button here that fires the bullet, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this thing is, it's nice, it's small, it's reactive, it's pretty quick. If we go over here and go onto the track, we can come up on here. It takes, whoa! Okay, we just dropped it. It takes a little bit of practice. I hope I didn't break it. I have not done that all week. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness it fell on the rug. Oh boy. Okay. Leave it to the live stream for me to do that for the very first time. Oh boy, oh boy. Hey, hello. Kenneth Davis, aka Steve is here. Kegel 3D. Watch my words, AI is listening. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, I didn't really break anything. That was funny. Okay, let's just make sure we're still operating. Yeah, we're still operating pretty good here. Fortunately, I didn't break anything. Let's try that again, shall we? So we head over towards, oh, it's just a matter of getting the steering right on this. It just takes a little bit of use. Now, there's a different way that the remote can be programmed. So the remote can be programmed another little different way. Right now, I have to kind of both forward, both back, and then to turn, I've got to turn them opposite ways, okay? But there's a different way that this thing can be programmed so that I just go forward and back with this one and turn with this one. So I may end up changing that, but anyway, so just see so. Now let's load some bullets in it real quick here. I printed a whole bunch of bullets, a bunch of red bullets, battle damage. No, this is working. So right now it holds 5 at a time. So if I throw in 5 bullets, 5 red bullets, they just load right in the top here, like so. Actually, I think I can fit 6 in there. Fit 6 in there. But we got a special surprise for tonight's build. These things shoot extremely well. So let's see if I back this up, if I can get this camera in such a view, just to show you how well this shoots. So if I raise this up, aim a little bit that way, and I'm going to shoot. Shoot. These things go pretty darn good. You can kind of see how far these guys are firing. Oh, this one red one seems stuck. There it goes. The red ones don't seem to shoot as good as the white ones. And I think it's a little bit about the tolerance. So if I throw some white ones in here, I'm going to be picking these things up all day here. Let's just load some white ones in here. These white ones seem to shoot a little bit better, I think because they weren't printed on a textured plate. So the white ones, there we go. The white ones seem to shoot a little bit better. I'll pick them all up later. But there we go. There's the tank in action. And the object of this is that on the top of these tanks, you've got a little bit of a magnetic target here that you basically want to try and knock over or fire off of there. And then on the actual course itself, you have these little towers that you can print. These guys here. And they have little targets on the top too that are held on by magnets. And when you hit it with the thing, boom, you'll knock your target off. So it's like a battle thing you have between, 2 players. Just a fun little game. And then you can expand from all this, down the road, etc. So kind of fun. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back into the real world of the build, which is what you guys all want to see. What do you think? So I'm going to turn this off. Works really well. Turn this off, turn this off. And they have a lot of models that you can do, a lot of CyberBrick models that you can do. They have a forklift, they have all kinds of fun stuff. Brings me back to my childhood, and I really enjoy doing this stuff. So it's built on the sensor, is bullet on the sensor list? I hope not. Discs, okay, discs. Okay, we'll call them discs. A few streams ago he said, yeah, I know. Took the video down like 5 minutes after it was done, and that was by doing a water squirter. Okay, and I called it the wrong thing instead of water squirter. So yeah, you got to be careful. Okay, so the next tank we're going to build, we got all the ingredients ready to go here. Okay, so let's get the build going so we can get this done. Water Blaster Works. Hey Mark, how are you, Voyager? And if I haven't said hi to you and you've popped in, forgive me not. Okay, and before, a little bit of housework, a little bit of what did they say at meetings when you got to go through the... Anyways, before anybody forgets, at the top of the chat over here, you can enter. There's a pin post. You can go ahead and enter to win your Polymaker draw, our Polymaker draw tonight. By the way, this entire scene, this entire tank scene is all Polymaker PLA. The entire tank is Polymaker PLA. We've used the yellow, the white, the green. We've used black on here, light gray. We've used dark gray, panchroma. Everything is printed beautiful. So anyways, go ahead and try some of this Polymaker if you haven't. And the way to get some for free is to enter my draw. You'll get a $35 US gift card coupon, or you'll get a $45 Canadian gift card coupon on Polymaker. Go ahead, hit the link at the top of the chat. Or it's also in the description of the video. Enter, and we're going to be doing the draw in anywhere between 1 and 1.5 hours from now. Ready and go. Let me roll up my sleeves, get ready to do this build. So we're going to be following these instructions right here. Okay. So this is the assembly guide for the CyberBrick Mini T. Why am I hesitating right here? Because I'm hesitating. There we are. It is working. Okay. And we're going to follow these instructions now in preparation. And this is why we had to do the remotes first. We built the remote control first because it is required, because we have to pair the remote control with the receiver in the cyber tank itself in order for it to operate. So we did do the remote controls last week. And so again, we have the top one, which is the lithium battery in the top. We are not using the AA's. So let's go ahead and get what we need to get this going. Okay, I'm going to switch over to this camera right here. Is that the right one? That is. And we're going to pull the parts out of here. First thing we need to do is get our boards talking to one another. So I'm going to pull some parts out of here that are going to be needed for the build, as well as the board. So we're just going to scatter them all along here. Good evening, Jim S8933. Hello, hello. I love that I have the chat right down here and I can focus on that. I'll put myself up in the top. I'll put myself in the bottom left here so you guys can kind of see as we go along here. And I'm just going to pull all these little parts out that I know we're going to need for the build here. Okay. Oh, I can switch back. Did I switch back yet? I did. No, I didn't switch back. There we are. We'll switch back over to this camera here. I think that worked. Let's just see. There we are. I'm not used to having that iPad out in the front there for chat. So there's the battery we're going to need. They also sent along the AA or AAA battery compartments for this. So because it's the same plug. So you have the lithium battery and then you have your AAA battery, and they've got the same plug on it. So if you're, if you kill your lithium battery and you're in the middle of a battle or something, you can always throw some AAA batteries in there and keep your thing running. So we're going to need this little tray of screws there. And we're going to need those 2 motors. And I don't know, for some reason, this kit came with some LEDs, it came with some springs, which aren't used for this particular build, but this build can be taken apart and the LEDs would be used, for instance, on the forklift or something. So these are other parts to keep in mind, because there's so many different things you can build with this kit. And then it came with some thread, or whatever this stuff's called, string, and that's not used in this particular kit either. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to need is this board here. This is the one we are going to be communicating with for the tank itself. Okay, so that's this little guy. This is going to be like the receiver board, and this is what everything's kind of going to be running off of here. So I don't know if it feels dark in here for some reason, but we're okay. Okay, so we need the battery out. Okay, so there's our lithium battery. This is 7.3 volt, I believe. Yeah, 7.4 volt rechargeable. And we're going to plug the battery into the board. And we should get a light indicating that we have power, which is right there. So let me zoom this in a little bit. We're a little bit far out here. Whoa, far out, dude. There we go. So we have the power to the board. We're going to need the blue remote because we're going to be pairing with this remote. We're going to power on the remote, and we'll just double check, make sure there is power. We have a green light on the remote, so we do have the power. Okay, what is happening here? Hang on, sorry guys. Something happened here. There, I hit a wrong button or something. My camera went funky. I know, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. Get back. There it is. So yeah, we have the green light on the remote here. You can telling us there's power on there. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to switch over to this guy here. So we're going to, we got to download a file, which I've already downloaded. Now those files come from, if we go over to the mini tank Maker World site here. If you scroll down a little further, you're going to get all this information you need just down below here. Right here. Where is it here? Right here. So we have the assembly guide is here. We have our JSON files, which I'm not sure what a JSON, I call them JSON files. You like the color of the remote? That's Polymaker Teal. Is that remote one? Hey, another CG, better late than never. No worries at all. So the one we use now, there's a couple different ones that we can use. They are suggesting in the instructions, they are suggesting to download the CyberBrick Mini T configuration. Okay, now I'm going to try another one later, but I'm not now. But I'm going to try the Mini T mode 2, and I'll tell you why after. But for now, we're going to use the Mini T configuration. Okay. And then also there's software that's got to be downloaded, which is where did I find this software? Right here, the CyberBrick app, which is what we're going to be doing. So we can, CyberBrick app, if I click, oh no, there's a link to the CyberBrick app here somewhere. But it is here, trust me. I have the CyberBrick app all linked and downloaded and ready to go. It's on here, and I don't know where it was, but it was on here. I'll find it for you, just in case anybody else is doing this. I just shouldn't skip over that. Purchase recommendations, update. CyberBrick app is, I opened it in CyberBrick desktop. Import CyberBrick desktop, download right there. So when you click on open in CyberBrick desktop, you can download the latest version of CyberBrick desktop right there, okay? So that's what I've done. So I'll just import that into it anyways right now, like this. And it wants me to open, so I'll open CyberBrick, and that's going to open an app just like this. And I'm going to be using the CyberBrick Mini T JSON file, say select. And here we go. So I'm going to move this down, go back to the instructions, show what we're doing. So we're basically, these were a little hard to follow when we did it. Turns out you pronounce URL URL, and everyone laughs at you. URL. So anyways, we turned on the power to the remote. We connected the battery to the receiver board. Okay, now they want us to import the CyberBrick Mini T and then file and click edit, which we did. So it was a little confusing because nowhere up here did it say to download the CyberBrick app, which is this guy right here, which is a CyberBrick app. That's fine. So we turn on the power to the remote, we import that. Click the plus to pair the core board, then drag the core to the corresponding position on the right and click pair device and send config. So all that means is that in the app here, okay, we have to, well, we'll start scanning, and what it's going to do, it's looking for those boards right now. So it's all Bluetooth related. So what it's doing, device not found and device not found. Why it's not finding it, I don't know. It did it before. So I'm just going to say skip for now. We're going to go plus RC module and RC module. So why isn't it finding my device? I'm going to close this app and relaunch the app and see what happens. CyberBrick. Okay, Mini T, connect hardware. And I got to make sure my other ones are off, which they are. Bear with me 1 second here. RC module, confirm. Okay, so we want to make sure that our green light is flashing on the RC module. The one we're looking at, no, that's a different one. Sorry, this, it was very confusing to me first, and it's still very confusing to me now. So just give me 1 second. Jason. That's not the right board. That's the board we're looking for, should be this one. This is the board we should be looking at right here. And we're not blinking green, so we're not in pairing mode. Okay, let's start this again. I think this is still thinking I'm on my other one. Okay, let's go back into here. Let's do this again. We're going to take this one here. We've already downloaded, open in CyberBrick, import into CyberBrick desktop. Yes. We want the Mini T JSON. Select. There. Now my devices are showing up. I've got solid green on both, which is what I want. Okay, please observe the onboard indicator light blinking color and frequency match the following diagram. So I am not getting a blinking light. What am I doing wrong here? What I'm looking at, by the way, just in case you're not sure, is on here. We're looking for a blinking green light, and we're also going to be looking for a blinking green light on the transmitter and the receiver. This worked a little less, with a little more ease when I first did it, and I'm trying to figure out why. So let's just go back. Just got to be patient here, that's all. Let's just try next step and see what happens, even though it's not blinking. It's all Bluetooth related, so. Reset pin code. I don't think I set a pin code on this. I don't think I did. Let's just see what happens. RC module. And let's just add these two modules. No, that's the wrong one. So I'm doing something wrong here. Let's disconnect this. I need to drag my cores there. I need to find, let's see, it's not finding, okay, I want to add a receiver. Receiver 2. Okay, so receiver 2, we're going to call this tank 2. We'll go confirm. And we're going to add a remote. This is probably what I did wrong. Nope. Tank 2, receiver 1. So I need a transmitter. I need to use a separate transmitter. So I need to add a transmitter. Let's see. Nope, this is not where I want to be. Not working. I do not want to be there. I need to add cores on the controller connection screen, connect them to the correct shield. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Let's start over. Let's go back here. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's go back to where we were and controller connection. So I want to add an RC module, but I am not getting my, there, now we're blinking green. Okay, I was probably in the wrong spot. Now I'm getting a blinking green light on my module. Well, now it's blue. Next step. Now it was blue. Remember an autofill next time. Please remember your PIN code. Set a PIN code. Okay, I just do. We'll set the PIN code and confirm. Okay, there's our RC module. That is the transmitter, or the receiver. So we can put this over to the receiver and confirm. Oh, now we got to upgrade. It needs an upgrade. And then we'll get the transmitter in. That's right. Remember, it had to upgrade the firmware for the receiver, and now if we switch back to the camera, you'll see that it is a flashing light. That means that it is upgrading the firmware on the receiver board here. So this is doing it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, same code as your luggage. So this upgrade takes a little bit to do. So you'll see right here, it's doing the upgrade. It takes a few seconds for that upgrade to take place. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to move on to the balance of the instructions. We're going to go ahead and continue the assembly while it does the upgrade, because we can start the assembly while the board's upgrading, no problem. So we'll move on down past that. Don't worry, we're going to get through all this stuff early. Now we're going to work on the chassis while this goes on. So we're not wasting time watching it. You've configured about how many? 5 vehicles on CyberBrick. Yeah, and it's just, I think once you do a whole bunch, you get used to it. But thank you, Theo. I appreciate the help with that. So we're going to go grab the parts for this, and we're just going to assemble this as we see fit. Okay, so we are going to grab the chassis and start building the chassis. So there's one part of it there. It's orange. There's a second part of it there. Actually, I'm just going to dump all these pieces out, because we're going to need them all eventually anyways. There we go. So we need the chassis, we need the gear kits, which are the reduction gear kits, which are right here. Okay, and we're going to need the motors, which are right here. And I will we'll go back to that once that firmware is upgraded on that. But there's no sense not moving on a little bit while that's upgrading. Okay, and we're going to need the motors. We got the screws. We're going to need the axles, which are, where did I see the axles? The axles are actually in with the reduction gear kits, which are right here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, so we need to take the motors, and we're going to take our gears, and in these are called single axis plastic reduction gear sets, 1 to 48. Oh, very cool. I'm going to do some more of these. I love these little kits. So there's one reduction gear kit we're going to need here. Okay. Just going to pour that out and be careful of the parts. And then there's the second one. We're going to build the two sides, because we got to build this. We actually got to do this twice. So we're going to build both of them at the same time. And I don't know why I did one in black and one in orange. One half black, one half orange, but I did. So we're just going to have to live with that. Oh, where is the other? Hang on a second here. Why do I only have... Did I screw up again? I probably did, but let's just worry about one for now. I think I printed the wrong part, one of the wrong parts in orange. Yeah, you have to reprint a part. That's okay if I have to reprint a part. Okay. Anyways, let's keep following. So we're going to take the motors, and the motors need these little gears put on them. It's just a tiny, tiny little white gear here. It goes on the motor, and it just goes, don't drop it. It'll take me 10 minutes to find it if I drop it. Oh, once you get it started on the shaft, there we go. Then I can just push it down on the bench, because it just needs to go flush with the top of the shaft, so it doesn't have to go on any further than that. So go ahead and do the same for the second motor here. I suspect I am missing a piece, a printed piece here by mistake. I think I printed one too many covers. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm not thinking straight on this. Don't worry about it. We'll cross this bridge when we get to it. There's so many parts involved in this too. So we'll just put the other gear on this motor. 100 parts in a Ziploc bag and a bottle of glue. A lot of patience. And then we'll push that on like that, just so it's level with the shaft. This one's a little There we go, stiffer. There we go. Okay, we got the gears on the motors. And now we use this little piece. It comes in handy for a couple things. First thing we use on this, for this, is we're going to use this to push the, first we need to get the correct part, which is right here. And we use this to push the shaft into the slot in here, just like so. Push that in there. So I'll do the same on the other one here we're doing. Oh, I see, no, I'm not missing pieces. I'm looking at the wrong pieces. That's what I'm doing. I was looking at the wrong pieces. I don't need the orange ones right now. I am looking in the wrong places. So ignore my comment about missing a piece. I'm not. Okay, and we'll again use this piece. We put the shaft in there. And then we use that to push that shaft in place into this piece like so. So there we go, okay. And the same thing for the second shaft. So there's a second shaft. It gets pushed into the second hole here. Like so. That one's kind of just sits level with the outside of that. And same thing here. Push that one in here. And we're good, okay? So we've got our two shafts in each one of the sides of the motor casings, if you want to call them that. Let's see what's going on. 1.5 millimeter hex drive and a lot of screws. Yes, I know. I wish I had a 1.5 millimeter hex drive for this screwdriver, but I don't. So I use this guy here. Okay, now we need to lube some gears. Okay, we're going to grab our lubricant, which we have. One of them I opened here already. That one I didn't open. And so this is the lubricant we're using, and this is to lubricate the plastic gears. And we don't want to be too stingy on this, because last thing you want is for the plastic gears to be sticking. So the first ones are sort of an inverse little gear. This is going to be the gear that the motor hits first. So it's an odd shape one. It's hard to explain, but the gears are actually standing vertical as opposed to horizontal on this one, on these two that are going first. So that's these two here. So we will get some lube on the fingers. We'll lube the hole, and then we're going to actually just lube across the gears as well. I don't think you can use too much lube in a case like this. You just want to make sure, because you're running plastic on plastic, but this will just reduce the friction load on it. So we'll lube the one, and we slide that gear in here like so. I wonder if the overhead camera is going to be better for this. Let's just see. Yeah, let's go to this camera. There we go. So here we are. This is the piece that we're working on right now. Okay, so again, we're going to take this piece, put some lube on these gears, all over. Make sure I get some in the hole for going down the shaft. And that gear is going to go into that piece right here, like so. And I need my, that's what jeans that got to hit the laundry tonight are for, right? Wiping the lube off. Okay, now the next step is we put the motor in. So the motor goes, so we kind of have to wrap the motor cable. This routes through this little hole here in the bottom. Come on, like so. And then the motor cable itself is going to wrap around between the two colors there, and then I use my little hex key here because my fingers aren't small enough to get down here, so we're just going to wind this one around this one around this side, down the back, and like that. So basically what they're asking in the instructions, if you look at the instructions, how they're showing you to route the wires just like that, just like so. Okay, so we've done that. The motor sits nice and flush on the bottom there. We'll do the next motor here too. So we push this through the hole, and we bring the wires, bring that through, and again, I'm just going to use my hex key here to, actually, I'm kind of turned around here. No, I'm turned around the wrong way here. That's how I gotta be, right here. So the black goes around that side, the red goes around that side. Come on. And I just push them down. I have big hands, so this is kind of hard, and it's hard for me not to get my hands in the way of the video, of the camera. And there we go. There we go. So I don't know if that'll show up well on camera. It's hard because there's not very much light there. But you can kind of see here, maybe if I do this, you can kind of see how that wire routes. Or maybe not, that's not focusing too well. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Anyways, here nor there. Okay, once you actually have it in hand, you'll see. Next steps. Fat fingers going to bleed. No, they're not going to bleed, Death Cube. Ah, don't jinx me. Here we go. So we've got those wrapped around. Now we're going to add some gears. Now we're going to add all the gears, the reduction gear set in here. So we'll do one at a time here, and we got to lube all these gears up. So let me just see. So there's an order. So if you look at the display here, you can see the order on the screen that they're showing me there. And then afterwards, we're going to be putting the covers on. Okay, so basically we have number 1 and 2 are already put in. We're putting 3, 4, and 5 in next. So number 1 is in 2, and 3 is the large one here. So we're going to get a lot of grease. Here we go. So I just kind of just rub the grease all around, get my fingers all greased up, and then make sure that I kind of hit all the gears on this thing. And I honestly, personally, you may think differently, but I don't think you can over grease these things. So there we go. So that one goes on here. Whoops. Like so. Okay, and we'll do the same on this side. Okay, let's get some more grease out here. Okay, this one goes in here. Okay, you can kind of see how, I don't know if it's easy to see on camera, but the gears are turning nice and smoothly here. Okay, and number 4 is the other leftover guy here. And I think there's one gear on here we don't use. So I'll get some lube in the hole and around the whole thing. Like so. This goes on this left shaft. Like so. We're all adults here. We can say the word grease and shaft at the same time. There we go. And the last one. Now this one, basically this gear goes inside of this gear, like so. And where'd the other one go? The one I use for pushing it on, right here. This goes inside of this gear, which makes it a long gear. Longer gear. There is no extra gear parts. So we'll get that all lubed up. And that one's going on top of that one like so. There we go. These are the actual wheel drive gears that I'm putting in right now, the ones that actually drive the back wheels. Okay, or the front wheels. No, it's the back wheels. And that one goes on like so, just like that. There we go. Now let's clean my hands of the grease. Where's the lid for the grease? Where'd I put it? Of course I lost the lid to the grease. It's probably on the floor. I'll just set the grease down over here for now. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna find a rag here, and I'm gonna probably, give me a second here as I walk over and, paper towel. Paper towel makes a good rag. And I'm gonna quickly grab myself a drink of water. I didn't prep myself with any water for the stream. Give me a sec. Just need a little swig of water. That's all I'm gonna get, because that's all the water I got down here. Da, da, da. There we go, some ice. Okay, we're good. Just need a little swig of water. Okay. Just don't mention Vaseline. Cancel, there we go. Okay. I have another set of gears here for something, and I don't know what this is for. Plastic differential gear kit. That's obviously for a different project, so obviously you get lots of extra parts in these things. There's the top of the grease bottle. There we go. Okay. Okie doke. Don't forget, if you're just getting here, top of the chat, I believe on this side, you'll see a pinned link to enter the Polymaker draw. And there also is a link in the description of the video. Go ahead and enter that draw. No excuses for missing it. Okay, then we need the caps for these, so let's switch back to this guy. Then we need to put the caps on. Only goes on uno way, like so. That snaps on and closes, like that. And then we have 3 screws. And they provide the screws for these ones, so we'll use the screws that they provided. And we'll close off these wheel shaft, these gear, I don't know, I'll call these gear boxes, whatever. Okay. These are going to be the drive gears. The motion behind the notion, the power behind the tanks. The wheels that drive us home. Thank you, Jerry, for mentioning that. Yes, the pin post at the top. Fill it out and win some stuff. Okay, there's one. And there's my other lid right here. Just make sure when you put these on, I learned from experience that your motor is still sitting nice and flat. And you'll know it because when you go to clip this closed, if it's not, you're going to see gaps in it, and you shouldn't see any really big gaps in the side here. Yeah, I kind of wish I had a 1.5 mil bit for my power driver, but I don't. But you really, you don't want to over tighten these anyways, because you're threading into plastic. So sometimes with the power driver, if the torque is high, you'll strip the threads too easy. So this just takes a little bit of wrist power. If they can be reused, I don't see why not. These can come apart. There's nothing nothing other than a couple magnets that are glued into any parts here. So I don't see why you can't take one of these apart and use the components for something else. So there we are. There's our two drive gears, or drive wheel, whatever you want to call them, that we're going to be using. Those are all finished. Okay, so now we can move on to the next section. So we've just done that. We've put the screws in and tightened them, and then we have the two. Now we're going to work on the side. Now we're going to slide the motor assembly into the frame, like so. And you can see up top sort of what we're going to use for this part. And then we're going to put the receiver board into the frame. And then we're going to actually put the rear frame on and complete the whole basic assembly. And we're going to make sure not to pinch the cables. And so that's basically what we're looking at right here. And that would be the finished component other than the battery. Yeah, okay. Anyways, you kind of get the idea. Okay, so next step here is to get the frame put on to the motor assemblies. Okay, so here we go. So let's, oh no, I think this is going to be okay. So here's part of the frame, and here's the other part of the frame. So we want the back frame, it's going to be this way up, and the wheel assemblies are going to go this way, and this slides into one side here like so. Let's just see. I got that right. That clicks into place. So the wires are coming out the middle, and this one slides into the side here. It's pretty critical to have good tolerances on your printers. That slides in and clicks into place like that. Okay. Then we take the receiver board. Oh, the receiver. Oh, right, the board. Okay, let's back up a step before we've completely messed this up. We're going to back up one step and make sure that the. Oh, I didn't even switch the camera there. I'm sorry, guys. But let's back up a step here. So we're going to go back to here, and we'll see that the update was done. It was up to date, so we can close that. Now we have to add the other core, so we're going to add the other RC module, confirm, and that is the remote, which is blinking green. We go next. Okay, there we go. And then we enter our pin on this one again. I'll just use the same pin I used for that other one. Confirm. Okay, then we drag this onto here, and it's going to do an update as well. Confirm. And what that's going to do is that's going to update the transmitter board. So, and again, that's going to take a little while to do. So we'll continue on with the build while we do that. Okay, so let's continue on with the build, because now that the receiver, did I switch back? I didn't. Now that the receiver is updated, we have a solid blue light. I can actually unplug the battery from it, and we can work on installing the receiver now. Okay, so this goes with the, well, first thing I need to do on this, let's see. Yeah, I need to plug the battery cable, the power cable into it, which is, where did I see that other bag with the power cable in it? There's one cable I'm missing. I'm just looking for it here. It's not the battery cable itself. It's another power cable. I believe it's not the servo motor. It's the power switch module. Here we go. This is the other piece that I need, right there. Okay, so in this we have our actual power switch and our power cable. So this power cable is going to plug into this piece here, like so, without bending wires. Let's see. There, that plugged in. Okay, and then that, now this module, first I'm going to plug the wires. Okay, so first I want to plug the motor wires into the module before I do, because it'll be a little easier. So this side motor goes into this one right here. I just got to find which way, like this. Okay, that plugs into the first one, the one closest to the power. And the second motor plugs into the one closest to the power on this side, which is like this. Just don't get your plugs mixed up, because if you bend those little pins, hooped. There we go. Now that whole module, oopsie, and I got my sides mixed up. Silly me. I got my sides mixed up. I want it this way. I think I did that on the first one too. Yeah. And this way. Like so. There we go. Now we'll tuck those wires so they're going down. And then this whole module, oh, hang on, am I backwards? I'm having a rough time here. Okay, hang on, back up, slow down. Module goes in this way. This is the right motor that goes on this side. I'm going too fast. I'm trying to speed this up so I'm not taking too much time, but I got to take my time. And then this motor plugs into this side. There we are. Now the module actually slides in right. There's a couple little slots right here, and that whole module is going to slide right in to there like that. Just like this. Just like that. Then we got to take the back module. Let's make sure these wires aren't crossing the back. We have the back piece. Let's just go to the next diagram here. So I get the right side up. So we have the top side up. This is going to slide in here like so. And come on. Like that. There we go. So that's going to hold. There's no screws holding that module in. It's just the back cover piece that's holding the module in, just like so. So there we go. I just lost my instructions. Did my window crash? No, there it is. So that's how we're looking right here. So yeah, this is going into the back battery compartment. This will eventually plug into the switch, which we're going to put here. So there we are at this point. Hey, Tuxedo. So there we go. Okay. Next, we have our, let's see, we have our receiver board. We're putting 2 screws in. So we have our battery compartment. There we go. Our power module. No, hang on a second here. Oh, I see. There's 2 screws that I got to put in. Oh, I pinched a wire. Ah, see, and it told me not to be, it told me to be careful. I pinched one of the wires down here, so you got to be careful, as it said not to pinch a wire. I didn't do that the last time, but this time it looks like I pinched a wire. So let's just back this out just a hair. That snapped in pretty tight too. Try not to do what I just did. Shoot. Okay, I'm just gonna need to Didn't do that the last time. See, I'm showing off and I'm going too fast. I'm trying to go too fast. I just got to separate that one piece down there. I need a tiny flat screwdriver to separate that. I pinched one of the little wires, and that was a no-no. Okay, let me just see if I can get that out of there. They're just so delicate. I don't want to break a wire. Come on. That's why I did a practice run, so I didn't have to put up with this stuff. And this back piece does not come off too easily. I would think that if you wanted to disassemble one of these to make something else, you're going to end up breaking a couple pieces. Bear with me. I got this wire really stuck in here. There we go. I think I got it. Are you unstuck? You know, when I wasn't live, it went no problem. Do a live build, and of course this happens. Oh, okay. Let me figure. I got to figure out how to get this off of here. I don't want to break a piece. Oh, man. Shoot, shoot, shoot. But I definitely have the wire pinched. Anyways. Here, I'm going to take the camera off. Less pressure on me if I'm not trying to get this under the camera all the time. I just got to figure out how to get this pinched wire out of there. It's just very, very tight space to work in here. And I don't want to break the... There we go. Okay, I got it out. Now if I can push this piece back in. There we go. And I didn't... Good, and I didn't break the wire. Okay, we're good. See, once I took the overhead camera off and took the pressure off myself, we're all good. Too much pressure. Okay, good. Those are done. Now we just got a couple screws inside here we got to put in. Hey, sissy kid. So there's just a couple screws to hold this back piece into place right here. So basically we are at this point right here in the instructions. We're putting these two M2.5 by 6 screws down inside, and these are going to hold that back cover on. It's snapped in there tight enough. You probably don't need these, but they are part of the build, so just use them anyways. There we go. No reprint happening. Okay, we got those two screws in there. It's hard to see on this. I got a crappy overhead camera, but there's two screws inside there holding that on. This is our battery compartment in here with all these wires in here, which is fine. So now we're going to put the power switch part on. There's only one way this goes. There's a hole here for that to screw in. That sits in there just like that. Another little screw right there. Just like that. There's our switch. And then we run the battery cable up. So with this looking this way. Oh, I thought the battery went on the other side. No, we're good. So the battery cable comes up through this hole. Come on, get in there. Just like that. And then you have to manipulate and maneuver and plug this in here. And with big fingers, it's not easy, but it's doable. Just like, come on. Come on. Oh, come on. You can do it. There we go, just like that. So that's where the battery, so then when we actually have the battery in there, the battery is going to plug into this side, okay? Which I think it's going to be the next step. It is. So they want me to take the battery now, run the battery cable up through here. And I think I did this after. For some reason, I think I took this off and redid it after because it was in the way. But yeah, it's okay. So we take the battery cable. It's going to feed up through this hole like so. Come on. Like that. And then the battery plugs into this side. Like that. And the battery is going to kind of sit. These wires will all get squished in, and the battery will kind of sit in the compartment like this. And the battery compartment cover will slide up and closed like that. There we are. So now if I turn the switch on, I should get my green light on here, which I did. So that means I've got everything in there correctly. Okay. Okie doke. There is the chassis. That was the hard part. And in the back, there's a cover that goes in the back here. Am I on the right? Yeah, I am. And this goes this way. So you put one side in first, and then the second side kind of slides in. Now this is kind of a, just got to make sure these wires are, just going to pull some of these wires out of the way. This back cover, it's not the tightest fit. I was concerned about that at first, but the reason it's not the tightest fit is because it's the, you got to remove it when you want to charge the battery. You have to remove this back piece. So it kind of just fits in there. It fits in there, but it's easy to get off by sliding it one way or the other, and that back piece will come off. But that's basically just the cover for the power switch like that. So there's the chassis module all finished. It'll go a little quicker now. Let's quickly switch back and see that update should be done now. That update is complete, so we can go close now. We can I've got to turn the power on this because it wants to reconnect. So let's go ahead and reconnect to that module, to the receiver. And as soon as that reconnects, we can pair the two devices. So we have blue lights on both now. There we go. So we're connected. So this is the transmitter, this is the receiver. We can pair them. And that's done. Now, this is the thing, it says cancel pairing, but I didn't, oops, I didn't move that up far enough. There's a message at the bottom that says pairing is complete. So we are paired. I can say reconnect to this one anyways. We can just double check to make sure it's paired. But we should be good. So we'll just let that one connect. There we go. I can cancel pairing. See, unpaired successfully, you can see on the bottom left. Now if I say pair device, it'll say paired successfully. So you can pair it and unpair it as you see. So we should be paired fine now. Okay. So if I can test this now by having both of these on, and once we get solid lights, and we have blue, we're still flashing. It's maybe still pairing. There we are, blue and blue. We're still not paired, I guess. Let's just see what's going on here. Oh, one step I forgot. As you see, I had to hit send config. There was a button up top that said send config. I didn't send the configuration. Now you'll see that we have, in here, we have flashing blue lights, flashing blue, a solid blue, and these are going to be paired in a second here. There we go. So now if I push the right button on the remote, you'll see this one is turning. Left button on the remote, this one is turning. So we've paired things properly. Now we've got a little bit of drag motor run on, whatever you call it. In other words, we are not perfectly, I don't even know what you call it. So see, this one's moving on its own a bit here, but we can fix that in software a little bit later. Okay. Just means that this one's not quite parking, I guess, if you want to. I forget the name for it, but we'll fix that in the software later. So let's for now just shut off the remote and shut off this, and we'll move on with the rest of the build. Okay. Yeah, the Theo 3000 send config. And you know what? I had that same issue with the first one. I think, why isn't it working? And then I read the instructions, says, yeah, you got to send the configuration. So, Jerry, you sold your sister's truck to a guy in Canada. He's flying down in 2 weeks. Oh, cool. Zero at the joystick. Yeah, yeah. We'll do that in the software after we get it all done here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to where we were. So that we're at that. There's a point now we're going to be able to go in here after and do some tweaking in here to fix that issue. So I don't remember what it's all called, but it's all good. So we did our test, which is here. Turn on the power and test to make sure. So it's working. Now we're going to work on the expansion module disk launcher. Yay! Finally, we get something fun going on here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our 180 degree 9G servo and plug it in the hole, and we're going to plug it onto the spot where it says right there. Easier said than done, trust me, because I have big fingers again. So let's go ahead and cut back to this, and we'll go back to this and cut back to this. So the servo I want is the 180 9G servo, and that's the 360 9G. I don't want that one, I want the 180, which I believe is this one. Sun to the rescue, there you go. Yeah, no, he won't be coming down to do this anytime soon. So there's our servo with our pieces we're going to need. Let's open this servo. I have tons of servos, by the way. I don't know if I have these particular ones, though, but that's okay. These servo wires are a bit long, but they could be shorter, but they're fine now. We're okay for now. See, they're a little longer than they need to be, but they do what they do. Okay, so we pop this front part off here again. Okay. And now we also need to get into the battery compartment again, which is why I took it off and left it off last time. Aha! So we open the battery compartment. We're just going to unhook the battery for now. Come on. Actually, I'll just take the battery out for now. Come on, get out of there. There it is, okay. Because we've got to get at these pins to hook the servos up inside here. Now, I am going to cheat because I learned in advance. We're going to be plugging both servos in. If I plug the first servo in where they say to go, I have trouble reaching into where the second servo's got to go in here. So I am going to, that's not very bright. I want to get a little bit more light on this for you guys so you can actually see inside. This might work here. Just so you can see how tight these pins are and why I'm doing what I'm doing. See if this will make a difference. This might help. This might help. So inside where the servo pins go is right, you can kind of see. I'm trying to find, right in here, the servo pins kind of go right inside here, and they're kind of hard to reach. So just want to make sure. So instead of putting this one in first, I'm going to put the 360 degree servo in, the other side where it's going to go, and plug it in first. I'm basically going to skip the one step and get this plugged in first because I ended up having to unplug the other one to get this one plugged in. So this one's going to go with the brown wire towards the middle. So this is going on the first set of pins. And I had to really, it's so hard to get my fingers in here, but I'm going to do my best here without swearing to get this on the first set. It's not easy. I think I actually cheated and used tweezers before too, because I can't get my fingers down in there. Okay, here we go. Let's get this one down and on those 3 pins. There we go. Okay, first one's in, and now I can put the second one in because the pins for the second one are actually on this side of the servo, like towards my hand here. So it's going to be easier to put these in without that first one. Okay, so let's grab that. Let's grab the plug. There we go. And then we will get this one plugged in. And there we go. That's much easier. Last time it took me forever I struggled forever with that second servo because I was trying to get it in behind the first one, and yeah, it just wouldn't work so well for me. So anyways, there we go. So we have the servos in. I'm going to put the battery back in to keep it out of the way. And again, it gets really crowded with all the wires in there, but everything fits. Put this back on. Okay. Now we just got to make sure which servo is which. This is the 9. Okay. I'm just going to actually turn this on and make sure I don't get these mixed up. I didn't screw the servos up. I think I did. Yeah, I screwed the servos up. See? That's why I checked. Okay. So, oh man. I plugged the wrong one into the wrong slot. How? Anyways, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, as long as I can get them out of there. That's why you test things as you go. That one. Okay, so this one's got to be first on there. Mix them up, they won't work so well. Just swap in the app. No, one's a 360 servo, one's a 180 servo. It has to be the right servo and the right plug. They're two different servos and they serve two different purposes. There we go. That should be right. Let me just make sure that I got these correct now. So we'll turn it on and we will turn the remote on. And this one should be this servo. And this should be the 360 servo. That's right. Okay, they're right now. We're correct now. Okay. I am having fun, Tuxedo. I love that. I love this electronic stuff. Sometimes it's hard to watch from a viewer's perspective, like on your end, but I love doing this stuff. I really do. It's such a learning curve for me. I haven't worked with servos in a long time, though. But anyways, we're good. Okay, so I'm just going to... Why did I get another window open? I didn't want to open that window. There we go. Oops, no. Minimize you. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we got to grab our little servo kit thing here. These are the little ends that go on the servos here. And we got to take this one and we got to cut it off at the third hole. Where's my snippers? Let me grab my snippers here. Actually, let's move over to this guy. There we go. Okay, so we're going to cut this off at the third hole. I have no idea where this piece is going to go. Actually, I'm going to try and aim for the garbage. Oh, missed the garbage, but we cut that off at the third hole on this one. Okay. And now they want this to go on this servo, 90-degree angle type thing. So about like that. The gears don't line up 100% at 90 degrees, but very close. Now we'll put in the screw to hold it in. Actually, let's do what it says. First, we're going to turn on the remote and turn on the power and make sure that we actually have that lined up properly. So then when we hit the... There, that's what we're looking for right there. That movement right there. I guess you can see that right there. That's the movement one. This is what fires the bullets. Okay, so that's good. So we'll power that off, put this little screw in. Where's that tiny little screwdriver? This little guy comes in handy for these. No, I don't think that goes in on this one. If come to think of it, I don't think we use that on this one. No, we don't. No, we don't. Okay, so I need another piece here. I need this little piece here, which goes like that. Okay, and then we're looking for our launcher. Okay, so what I've done for the launchers, here is the standard launcher base, okay, that we were using. There's these two pieces here. I have made a new top because one of the options is a loader which loads more bullets. So we're going to use this base instead of this base here. Exact same thing, other than this has a magnetic top for loading more bullets. So instead of this one, put that aside, we're going to use this one. Okay, but for now we have this. We have our little spring loader here, which is our launcher. That sits in here like this. Just like that, okay? It's actually an ingenious design. So the bullet goes in here, and then the bullet is forced to spread these things apart in a spring-like motion, and boom, that accelerates the bullet out of the launcher. Oop, just like that. So it's pretty ingenious design here. So now this goes in here like this. So that sits in here just like so. You can always go to the CyberBrick site and follow along too in the instructions if I'm not being super clear. And then we screw these, and this is where this little screwdriver comes in handy because it's got a narrow shaft. It allows me to get right down beside. My other screwdrivers, the shaft is too wide to fit in there. So I'm using the little screwdriver that came with it. Tuxedo, you do, yeah, I know. It's Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it'll go wrong on a live stream. And when I was not live, no issues at all. That's all right. That's half the fun of this thing. Almost time for a draw. Look at that. There we go. So there's that servo in. Okay. So you can kind of see here how that's going to work. Okay, and next, now we just got to test. Where's the piece that's going to go in here? Right here. So this little guy. Oops, filament dryer just finished. I know. Okay, stop beeping. There we go. This little square guy sort of sits in here like that. And that's what the servo is going to do. It's going to push this square piece forward. So if I turn this on to test it again, because I got to make sure the resting position on here has the gap and that it's not resting too far ahead, which would interfere with where the bullets come out. So we have to test this piece. There we go. Yep. So that's working good. So you can kind of see how that operates right there, right? So if I were to put one of these plastic discs in here, it would just go, it would fire it out just like that. So this is all good. So let's turn this off, and we're good so far. So that piece is good so far. That's all lined up good. We don't have to adjust anything on there. We've already screwed the screws in. I've already gone ahead of that. There we go. And now we're going to route the wire. Just gets routed down through here like so. Okay. And we're going to put the top on. So here's the other top that we're using, the one that I already modified, or that I printed the modified one for the larger magazine. This should all sit right on top just nicely like that, with that coming out the bottom. Okay. And then, what do they want us to do now? Press and hold the left shoulder button to launch the disc, release the button to reset the servo. If the disc fails to launch normally, remove the cover slider and observe. So while we got this before we close it, they want us to put a disc in. and they want us to try launching a disk. So just keep an eye out to the top. You're going to see this thing fly. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'll worry about that later. Ready? And here we go. It launched a disk just fine. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we did the test. We don't have to adjust anything at this moment in time. Now we're going to put the little clips on that are going to hold this thing in place. So we have this one. And we have, where's the little guy? This one here. So this big one just clips in place here. Again, this is so it can come apart easier. And that'll clip into place just like that on this end. And then for this little guy, we clip it in here and up top just like that. So that completes the, oh, did I forget something? I did forget something. Oh, I forgot something. I'm going too fast. I don't like when I did this. I forgot to put a piece in. That's all right. That's all right. I'll pull this out, then I'll remember to put that piece in now. Stepping on a lost disc is not a bit, yeah, it's not like I'm shooting Legos, right? So just pull this out. Let's just pull this piece out. It's all right. See these things, this is good because I'm going to need to see how easy this comes apart. Because I'm going to be taking the other one apart to put the multi-disc loader in it anyway. So if I then pop this off, this should just come off like that, and this should just lift off nicely, kind of. Oh, I didn't quite get this back piece off. Don't break it, don't break it. Don't break it. Ah, that'll work. This'll work. The piece I forgot to put in, there we go. The piece I forgot to put in is just this little guy right here. Okay, this has to go in. There's a little hole inside of here that this sits in. Then we put the cover on. Whoops. Come on. That just sits in this hole, just in there like that. And I just dropped the other piece. I get nervous with an audience watching. What can I tell you? Okay. Then this sits in that little hole in there. And then this comes on just like, there we go. And that's the piece that I wanted right there that I had to have sticking out right there. That little piece right there. Okay. Now I can put these back on. Like that. Well, that wasn't so hard to take apart. That's good to know. You can close your eyes, you won't peek. There you go. And there we go. Now it's back together with that piece that I totally forgot. Okay. And press and hold the left button to launch the disk. We already did that. That's good, that's good. Now, there we go. And we're all set for the next step. Okay. Okay, we're set for the next step. Let's you know what? Let's do a draw. Let's just let's cut to the chase here. Boom, boom. Let's do a draw. Here, let me just take this off of here. If you haven't entered the draw, you've had all night to enter the draw, but you're going to have, and for about another 30, 40 seconds, try and enter the draw. There's a link at the top of the chat, or there is a link in the description, and you can go ahead and enter to win some Polymaker. We're going to do a draw. Yeah, I only how many likes? 33? That's okay. It's not the easiest stream in the world to like right now. I feel like I'm struggling here, but that's all right. We're going to do the draw. Let's do the draw. Let's get back to my window here. There we are. And ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is cool. Now, one thing I've changed on the draw, the very beginning of the draw, when you see the intro to the draw, you're going to spin. And that wheel spin where it stops just before we do the draw is going to determine how long I spin the wheel for the actual draw. You'll see what I mean when you see this, okay? So if you haven't entered the draw, you probably got 60 seconds to go in and enter the draw. Again, link at the top of the chat, link in description. And I'm not going to show any mercy when I'm ready to close that draw. I'm closing that draw. Mark my word. Okay. And here we go. Let's see, how do I do this? Let's go, boom.
Polymaker giveaway. Hey! All the answered names get to play. Hey! Count it down, shout it out, don't be late. Time for the Polymaker giveaway.
Okay, let's see how long we're going to spin this wheel for when we get the draw done. Oh, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. How long? 15 seconds. We're going to spin the wheel for 15 seconds. There we go. Okay, let's clear all the times out. Let's switch it to 15 seconds for the wheel. Not 57, 15. There we go. Now we're going to go get the names. So if you haven't entered, you got to race me before I get the names now. We're going to go get them now. So get on it. You're lucky. I don't even have the window open to get the names yet, but we're going to get it right now. Okay. Oh, I don't even have to sign in. I'm already signed in. So the draw is being disabled in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay, done, done, done. We're gonna get the names. Yay! Okay, all done. Okay, I'm gonna download the names. Downloading, downloading. And I'm gonna email you when you win. I'm gonna email you right away, letting you know you've won, and you're gonna get your prize immediately. Thanks to Jerry, because Jerry kind of, you know, taught me how to do this. So Polymaker is awesome. Everything you're seeing me do tonight is all Polymaker Filament. Every little aspect of it. Okay, there's the draw, there's the names, and I'm opening the spreadsheet. I'm going to copy all the names, not all the emails, all the names. And we got a lot of entries. That's awesome. A lot of entries tonight. There we go. Okay, let's get back to the wheel. Wheel, where'd you go? Where are you? There you are. Okay. And there. Okay, we're going to paste in all the names. And here we go. Boom. There's all the names of everybody that's entered. We're just going to shuffle for a few things. We're going to spin the wheel for 15 seconds. Okay, as it says in the middle, 15 seconds. And I am just randomly shuffling. And here we go. Is everybody ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck to the winner. Boom. Here we go. I don't know if I mumbled during this spinning or not, but hey, you know, let's go. It's going to slow down. We're getting close to the 15 seconds. And tonight's winner for Polymaker is Skyrim. Skyrim, congratulations. Are you here, Skyrim? Say something in chat. Skyrim. Yay! Are you here, Skyrim? Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Skyrim, Skyrim, Skyrim. Okay, I just need Skyrim to say something. Yep, he's here. You might be able to tag him, but he's got to say something. Skyrim is here. Yeah, I see you, Skyrim. There you go. Congratulations. I'm going to send you your prize right away. Give me 1 second. I got to find your name in the draw. Do-do-do-do. Oh, I can just do a search. Of course I can do a search. And let's find you. There you are, Skyrim. There you are right there. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to give away your email. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it into my email. And I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to go send. There you go, Skyrim. It's on its way. Congratulations. You can claim your prize right away. Congratulations, and thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining in the fun and in the giveaway. We'll be doing it again next week as well. I can get off of this screen now. We're going to do the same giveaway next week. Same time, same place, same channel, but in the meantime, we're going to continue and finish building this tank. What do you say? Let's finish building the tank. Congratulations. 41 likes. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everybody in this channel. More so than you know. More so than you do. Okay, let's get back at it. let's get back at it. Let's get back over to this camera. There we go. Let me get my instructions back up on the screen. There I go. Okay. So for this next part, I need to grab this part of the servo and I need to cut it off at one hole on either side. One hole on either side. I don't know where this is going to go, but is that the right one? Right there, right there. Let's see if I can just catch this in my hand. Oh, that hurts. Stings a little bit, but not bad. I'm a wimp. And one hole on this side. There we go. Ow. Okay. So we're just basically left with this little part of the plastic thing right here. This little thing right here in my fingers, in my finners. And then we need this round piece, this orange round piece here, and we need this piece right here. Let's see, those are the only ones we need for now. So we're going to take the cut piece, we're going to stick that face down in here. Oops, I see a little bit of snot in there. Let me get rid of that, just so that thing sits properly. When I say snot, I mean filament snot, just so you know. I haven't been blowing my nose around it, so that piece is going to sit right in like that. So that piece is sitting right in there on that, like so. I took that light away, didn't I? I think that light was helping things here. Yeah, I think that's helping things a bit. Then this piece goes in like so through that hole, like that. So this is that final piece right there. Okay, that's going to go on this servo, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, first of all, I got to mount the servo in. Let's see, we want the one with the long piece here. This servo mounts in this way, like so. So we have the wire underneath, so this servo sits in here like this. We're going to grab our little screws out of the servo bag. Here we go. Okay. And we're going to screw this little servo into place. Why are you not sitting down there properly? There you go. Oops. Come on. There, that's better. Okay, so we'll screw this in here. And the second one. Here we go. This is the servo that controls the up and down motion of the launcher. So how high it launches. That goes in like that. And then this guy basically sits on here, like so. And then we can screw that in with a little top of the servo screw here. Like that, and this is the 360 servo. So this one, if I turn them on, this should operate this piece right here, no problem. Okay, perfect. Okay, now those done, let's just look at the instructions here. We've already plugged the servo in. I saved that step so we don't have to worry about this step. Okay, and here's where we get a little bit tricky. So we need to take this piece, is going to basically sit, the wire is going to come down through here. No, yes, the wire is going to come down. I'll worry about the wire in a minute, but this is going to go on here. This wire is going to come down through here. so. Okay. And then we have the other orange half. Let's just make sure the wires are running and we're not snagging them again. Okay. Pay attention to the organizing and routing of the two servo cables. So we are fine. We're fine. We're routing the same way as the pictures. I'll just give you guys a quick show of what we're looking at here. We're looking at this part right here, part 12. So they just want to make sure that the servo cables are coming down through the proper slot there. And then we're going to basically be assembling all of this stuff. And again, paying attention to the wires and making sure that the wires are flat and not being pinched. Okay, so this is the stage we're at right here. Okay, so we are coming out the right way for the servo wire here. And then we're going to slide half of this. Now, are the wires going to be tucked in? I don't remember if these wires get tucked in yet, but this half of this slides onto the tank. Oops. We got to make sure that this doesn't come off of there. There we go, just like that. Make sure that stays on there. This slides onto this half of the tank. Like so, just like that. And these wires, let's make sure I'm not pinching wires, and I'm not. Okay, like that. And we're routing. Why is it showing a wire coming down through there? We don't need, I guess they want this wire. That's the wire they're talking there. Okay, pay attention to the state of the servo wires after assembly. Okay, we're good there. These wires, I believe, are just going to tuck into the battery compartment once they're done. Yeah, so let's do that. If I'm not mistaken, I had to pull these servo wires into the battery compartment so they weren't sticking out so far, just like that. There we go. And let me grab the other one here. There we go. And just like that. Okay. And then the other half, snaps together. Okay, something's blocking us, we're okay. That wire's in the right spot. Let me make sure. Always the wiring getting in the way. Okay, that should be good. Okay, and then we have our clips that go in the back and our clip that goes in the front. Okay, so number one is the front, it's got the clips up. Number two is the things in the middle. So this is just going to go in the back. Just to be sure, am I in the right spot? Yes. This one goes in the back, and this is going to snap on there to hold these two pieces together. And then this one goes in the front, and it goes on here, and it snaps these two pieces together. Just like that. just like so. Okay. Then we have all these wires we can just tuck in here. It gets crowded in the battery compartment. Back in the Droid days, we had to crowd the wires in as well, but they do eventually fit, just like so. And then you can slide the battery cover over, and you kind of just got to force it to fit in there with all the wires. No soldering, no. You want to see burnt fingers? Stop it! You do not want to see me burn my fingers. That's cruel. Okay, let's tuck these in. And there, we should be good here. Just like, there we go. All the wires tucked nicely away. We can take the cover for the back. We can put it on. Just like so. As I say, it's kind of finicky because it's got to come off for battery charging, but there we go. There's the back all put together, and there's the front all put together. Look at that. Did I forget anything? No. They look at how neat they make the wiring look in the back here in the picture. Like, it's that easy, right? I guess if you took your time, it could be. I'm sure it could be. Anyways, now we're going to put some fins on. Okay, so these little fins here, they just have little plastic bits that snap in. Okay, these are more, I think, just racing fins, I guess, if you want to call it. This snaps in. Try not to break it. There we go. They snap in, and yeah, if you're going to disassemble it, you're probably going to break these things, but we'll find out because I'm going to be disassembling the other one to put the multi-shooter in. And then this one snaps into the side. So there's basically holes right on the side here that match up with these holes on this thing here, or these slots, these pins, whatever. And then you just snap that in like so. And then on this one, I got to put magnets in that one yet. Now I think it's the tracks. Now that we're at this stage, I think we're going to be doing the tracks. Oh, actually, they want us to test the launcher first. So we'll power that on. Power the remote on. Now this little handle over here, you push it up, raises the launcher, down, lowers the launcher, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down. You can hold it, it'll just continuously go. But that works good. There, we're all set. That works good. Okay. That's that. Now, the wheel and tracks. The tracks are easy, okay? So, first of all, the wheels. There's 2 slotted wheels. Okay, 2 of the wheels are slotted. So you see these ones, this one here has a hole in the middle, right there. And this one here, you can see is kind of slotted on the one end. So obviously, you can't mess this up. The slotted wheel goes on the slotted drive wheel here. So that just pushes in like that. And this next slotted one just pushes on like that. And then for the slotted ones, or for the holed ones, that just goes on like that. And these have these little pins here that you print. And for these ones, you just push these little pins in like so to hold the wheel in, that little pin just inside there. So another one here, the round wheel, round shaft, little pin, pushes it in. They don't give you the hardware, but you can use, I think, an M2 self-tapping screw in here. I didn't put it on the other one because that is on there nice and tight. You could put an it's optional to put a screw in here. So now for the tracks, you want to make sure that they're all, you've got them all loosened up and that they're all working nice and easily like this and like this. Okay. There's little pins here for joining the tracks. So just make sure that you get them the right way around. There's an innie and an outie. Obviously the innie pairs up with the outies on the wheels. Okay. So we just go ahead and pair the innies up. And we put these little pins in, like so. So there's one set of tracks there. Again, we'll make sure the innies are paired up with the innies. I know my terms are funny. And we'll put the little pin in there. Okay, like so. And then we wrap the track around the wheels. Oops, making sure you put the innie around the outies of the wheels. And then, being whatever that guy is, I need 3 hands, but you want to line that up and get this pin in through the track. Easier said than done sometimes. There we go, and through and in. There's one track on. Oh, this one's a little, there seems to be a little bit of play in it, which I think is okay. But there's one track on, and we'll do the other one. And we want the innie. Set that on. Bring this around. There we go. We'll get our pin. Don't lose these. These are tiny, tiny, tiny. And come on. There we go. And got it. There's our other track on. There we go. Tracks are on. So we can actually roll this thing now. Tracks are supposed to be a bit loose. Okay, I guess that's true. So there is a little bit of play in them. Seems to be a little bit more play in these ones. If you look at how this one seems to have a little more play, but it runs fine. So let's give this a test and just see if it runs. Power it on. Power this on. Dun, 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 dun. Ready? Oh. What I found I had to do first was just lift it up and let the track run itself in, just to loosen it all up. Just had to turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. And it kind of loosens all the plastic up. There we go. Loosens all the plastic up, because when I first started it, it wouldn't go so well. So I just let it go. What's this side look like? This side looks pretty good. A little bit of a... And I think it's just a matter of getting all the joints in the plastic loosened up a bit. And the more you operate it, the more it's going to work better. So that right side seems to be stuck a little bit, so we're just going to make sure that everything is nice and loose here. I had to go through this with the other tank as well. There we go. It'll eventually slowly work its way in. There we go, a little bit better. Yeah, and more. They work their way in. You could always take them off and, you know what I mean, bend them and get them loose. The tolerance of the printer has a lot to do with it too, of course. Now that's moving much better now. Now that I've kind of played with it a little bit, it's moving a lot better. And it shoots. Let's put a bullet in it. Let's shoot it. Oh, yes, that works well. Hear how hard that hits, too? You can kind of tell how hard this thing shoots by listening to how hard it hits. Oh, right in my bucket. Hang on. So I got a little bucket here. Look. Here, I'll put this little bucket up here. Right there. And I'll show you how hard these things shoot. Let me show you how hard this shoots. Here, no, you can't see that. There we go, like this. So if I shoot it, oops. I'll have to figure that. Something looks like it's jamming in there. Oh, what's going on in there? Am I missing some tolerance? What's happening here? Oh, it's the, you know what it is? It's the ones that I printed on the textured bed seem to not fire as smoothly as the ones I printed on the non-textured bed. Because there's not a lot of tolerance in there, right? So I think the trick is to print these on a smooth bed. But they do shoot pretty good. Yeah, that's moving much better now. Yeah. Can I shoot myself? Let's see. Oh! Right in the throat. Right down my shirt. You gotta love it. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll leave these on. We're going to do a little tramming of the thing for now. Can you tighten the tracks? No, I don't want to tighten the tracks up. There's no way to tighten them, actually, really, the way the tracks are made. I can't see how I could tighten the tracks up. That's just how loose they are. That's just how they're meant to be, I guess. But as I say, they do. The more I play with it, the more it's working fine. Like straight ahead, go in a circle. It's just a matter of loosening up. So, and as I say, there's another option. So right now to move it forward, you got to push 2 handles forward, 2 handles back. To turn it, you got to go 1 up, 1 down. Okay, like that. No, definitely a choking hazard for smaller kids. Ethan will be fine. Okay, but there's a way you can control it. I think it's the J2, the V2 one, where you can push this to make it go forward and back, and then this would steer it right and left. I'll have to play with that and see. Anyways, for now, what I want to do is, let me put this aside for a second. I'm almost out of time, but that's okay. So what I want to do is I want to go into, and I'm trying to remember this, and if it's better if they're loose. Yeah, don't do it. No, I'm not going to tighten them. Okay, so if I go into, see, I can still, right now, well, I can still hear the motor running in here, and I shouldn't. But what I did last time, and again, this is me not knowing much, is I went into here, I went into channel config, into the remote, and I'm trying to remember where I found it. I believe it was the 3 position, no, it was the left stick. And there's somewhere where I sort of, parameter settings. No, it automatically does an adjustment, and I'm just going to try and find it. Right stick, this is where you do adjust things and everything, right? And I'm trying to remember where I found it. Remote, edit, auto sleep. No, we don't want to do that. That's fine. We can auto sleep. That's fine, just because it's going to put the remote to sleep. But where did I find, was it in the mini tank? Motor 2, motor 1, servo, continuous servo, LED. Oh, I'm trying to find where I found it. There's a way where I can do an automatic adjustment where it adjusts everything and centers everything. Let me see if I can figure this out. Controller connection. Well, maybe because I got to reconnect them to the software. Let's connect them while they're on. Let's just have a look. Okay, so the devices are already paired. Once they're connected, I should be able to find what I was looking for. So is it in here, recognize? No, so I think it was under config. There we are, we have the green. It was, let's see, edit. No, boom, left stick, mini T, where was it? Where was parameter settings? Auto trim, that's what it was, start. So we're auto trimming. And calibration complete, detected midpoint, calibrated. And then close, and then I believe the right stick, parameter settings, auto trim, start. Calibrated, close, and then we go to the tank, continuous servo, angular servo, motor, code. No, there's a lot of stuff in here I don't understand. See, I'm still getting that little bit of a buzzing in it. and I don't understand why. Oh, send config. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So we auto trim, let's send config. Thanks, Theo. Okay. So we did the send config. And it's going to reset these. And the buzzing's gone. There we go. Buzzing's gone. Forward, back, turn. See, look how much smoother that moves now that they're wearing in the tracks a bit. And the buzzing's all the buzzing is gone. Before I'd have to push that up just a tad to get rid of the buzzing, but the buzzing's gone because it's configured itself now. So everything's good. So when I say go straight, it should go straight, which it is. Straight back, straight and right, or left, back and left, right, left, oops, right, that's left, that's right. Oh, I might want to reverse that. But it moves pretty cool. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Ship it. There we go. Okay, the only thing to do now is the only thing left to do. Well, I'm just going to quickly gather these little leftover servo parts, because you never know when you're going to need some servo parts, right? Always keep all the leftovers. Okay, put them away. The only thing to do now, well, and again, this is the one where you can put load, and again, this sits like this, and that's going to hold several discs. But first of all, where's the little magnets? I had two or three little magnets left over. Don't know where I put them. I need to order some more magnets because, oh, and there's another spare piece that I didn't need for this. So they've given you enough spare pieces for a couple different configurations on things. There's another part here that covers, now I don't know if this piece covers the screw and the servo, this little piece here. Now I don't know if that's going to work with, yeah, it should work with this multi-loader. So let's put this little piece in here for the servo. That covers the screw and the servo on this. Like that. This should fit over it, which it does, perfect. So that's our big multi-loader, right? So that lets us load, I think in total 14 shots. So that's what I want to adapt for this one here, because I didn't put, I need the magnet. So I need to switch the top of that for the top of this one, so I have the multi-loader is what I want to do. Okay. But for now, and then the only other thing that goes on here is on the back of this, we have this, which basically holds the little target, which is the thing on the tank that I have on this one. And that's the target where you would shoot and try and knock the enemies. I guess that's considered blowing up their tank. If you, boom, knock that off, you've kind of blown up their tank and you win the game, or whatever you want to call it. There's so many different ways you can play this, however you like. But I do need those tiny magnets. And I know I had two of those. Oh, there they are. They were stuck to my scissors. And these little magnets are made. These things are printed so with such tight tolerance that these just pressure fit right into here. So we'll pressure fit. I should do one of the, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of a white one for this, I'm going to do a, where did I put them? Boom, 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 right here. I'm going to do a green. I'm going to do a green one for this one. Oh, they're bigger though. The ones for the tanks are smaller. We'll just do the small one for the tank. They have the bigger targets for the actual course, but if you get that magnet started and then just kind of squeeze it in there. There we go. Now make sure that the polarity is right on the magnets. Is that right? Polarity for magnets? I don't know. And then so we'll just kind of make sure that one's correct for that, so that we know now that this one goes in this piece like this. Come on. Actually, I'm just going to put that in my fingers. Get that pressed in started. We'll kind of pinch this in. Come on. There, like that. Now this piece fits into the tank again with a little pressure fitting thing there, and that just sort of sits down just like that. That covers the other screw for the end of the servo, and then your target just sits on top like that. So that's the target to kill the other person's tank. Ethan asked me, did the tanks blow up? I said, no. No. So there we are. There is our 2 tanks. And I'd like to, speaking of 2 tanks, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. See what I did there? Look at that, right on time. Right on time, 7 o'clock. Whew, wow, we did it. Oh, actually, let's drive the other, some tank wrong, some tank wrong. Let's drive, let's see. This goes off the table, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna bring this camera over. We're gonna let's zoom out of this, like this. Let's just try, for fun, driving this new tank that we just built. Let's drive the new tank onto the, we're still on. Let's go ahead and see if the new tank will go ahead and get up onto the platform. Whoa! Oh no! 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 Oh! Bum 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 bum. We broke it. We broke it a little bit. Oh. Oh, look, we lost a track too. Jeez. Okay, well. So, I did that on purpose, to be honest with you. I did that on purpose. I wanted to do that. Oh, I lost a wheel too. Oh, that's the wheel that wasn't screwed on. I'll have to find that wheel. But I wanted to do that on purpose to show you guys. Holy crap. Did that ever come apart? I wanted to do that on purpose to show you guys, don't play with it near the edge of a table. How did that? I'll have to, anyways, that's fixable. That's fixable. That didn't hold up as well as the other one did. I guess it depends on how it hits. But that's okay. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this off. And we're going to say, okay, don't put it on the edge of a table that's going to, if it hits, you make sure you have safeguards in place. So that was actually done on purpose. That was a PSA. That's fixable. That's easy to fix. None of the parts are broken. Nothing broken. No, nothing's broken. Why couldn't it have done it with the other one that I want to replace the top part on anyways? Nice thing about it is to take these apart is real simple. Like for instance, the track. If I pull that little pin out, just like that, track comes off super easy. That back wheel comes off super easy. The front wheel comes off because it's not screwed in. Super easy. Oh, this gives us a good idea of how easy or difficult these things are to disassemble. These 2 parts got to come off on the side in order to get that screw out of the side. Let's just see, that comes out real easy actually without breaking. And then, yeah. And this back piece, let's just see if I can snap this back piece off. Let's just see. I wanted to see how easy it was. That back piece comes off, snaps off. This side piece easily, because I forgot to put a screw in there. And then there we go. We're all apart and sort of ready to go. So the other one will come apart just as easy for me to switch that top out. And nothing is broken. Here. There we go. Nothing is actually snapped. The plastic survived. So this thing can survive a fall. Look at that. Look at that. It did remind me, though, that I forgot to put the little screw in the side there to hold it together. That's probably why it broke, is because I forgot that screw, which holds that whole, that screw. So in this one, it's the yellow one. It holds this whole piece together because that's where it came apart, was right there where that screw would have held it all together. No toys were harmed in the making of this stream. That is so, so true, Tuxedo. So it's built like a tank, yep. Phone will be the next thing. Loose wheel. There's 2 wheels on the floor. Let me find them. Then I'm going to say goodbye. You can say your goodbyes while I go look for these wheels. But I am going to find these wheels, and then we're gonna call it quits. There's one wheel, and the other wheel. Now, there it is. We have all the parts. We have all the parts. No, nothing was lost or injured during the making of this stream. There we go. Let's move this camera out of the way. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore. A lot of good you were. But that's cool, because I want to take this one apart and put the multi-launcher, the bigger ammunition thing on it. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad that happened, in all honesty. I'll get this up and running, and I'll prove it to you next stream that it's all working good. And I'll actually videotape. I'll do a video of us having a battle with this, but not in nearly a precarious position as this one is. So what I need to do, though, is also put a... oh, you guys might know this, the guys who have done the CyberBrick projects before. There's another switch on this, on the back. It's a 3-way switch, which has nothing to do with this particular tank. I'm assuming, then, that this 3-way switch is going to operate something else in a different project, possibly, that this remote can be used for many things. So I would assume that. There we go. I'm all done. That's it. That's all. Okay. I'm way behind. That's the Mad Max kill switch. If you hear a crunching sound, that's a disc. Exactly. Oh, wait till I tell you guys what happened to my Centurion Carbon hot end. That's a whole other story. I think I caused a chemical reaction to the copper on that hot end, or the brass, or whatever you want to call it, because whoa, I've never seen anything like that before. That's a whole other story. The truck and forklift use one controller for both vehicles. Okay, cool. Very cool. I want to do the forklift. The forklift looks so cool. I want to do that. And I want to have little mini pallets that I can lift with the forklift. I don't know, this kind of makes me feel like a kid again. So 3-way switch changes between them. Okay. Okay, perfect. Theo, you've obviously got the most experience on here with these CyberBrick projects, but I'm in love with it. I'm kind of hooked. I'm very hooked. So did I turn these off? I did. Don't forget to turn your truck and your controllers off, because the batteries will die. Oh, and it did come with, I should have mentioned, it did come with a battery charger. Boom. You just plug your battery directly into this. It doesn't say how long it takes, but just a few hours, plug it into this, you'll charge your 7.4 volt battery up. It only came with one charger for 2 kits, which is really weird, but I would imagine that any 5 volt, 500 milliamp, 7.4 output device that will fit those batteries will work fine. So you should be good. Forklift is awesome. Okay, I got to do the forklift now. That means I either got to use the parts in this, or I've got to order the forklift parts. So I'll have to do the forklift. So thank you so much, everybody. I still feel like a fool for that falling off the edge, but that was kind of fun. So a good RC charger, charge them in no time at all. There we go. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Again, I appreciate you all being here tonight. we'll play some more. I'll play with this during the week. I'll get this all fixed. I'm going to get this one switched out, and hopefully we have some fun tank battles this week. I can play with Ethan on this course on the ground, on the ground. So, okay, guys, you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll catch you guys all in the next stream next week. Thank you so much again. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good week. Bye for now. Whoops, wrong button.